Hey guys, Common Sense Outdoorsman. Good to see you again. Sorry for my absence. No excuses. I've been real busy. I've been getting some back treatment. I've had several back injuries back in my military days, and I've been getting some treatment for that. My days have been slow to start. As a lot of you know, my wife and I have been living the on the road life for now. We've got grandchildren and kids in 2 different states. I'm at my daughter's house now in South Carolina, so it's been hard to to get set up to do a lot of videos. Been doing a lot of family stuff lately, but my apologies for that. I know I'm not a YouTube star or anything, and not many of you care, but that's what's been going on. Anyhow, I owe BeaverCraft a video on a knife they sent me. This is the Beavercraft Breeze, which is kind of fitting for a day like today because it's very windy out. I've been doing a lot of yard work for my daughter, trying to get that done, and I've been messing around with this knife for quite some time now. As you can tell, I don't know if you can see the finish on it in this sunlight, but in its use, it's 1066 steel, so it's got a little rust here and there, and I've cleaned it up here and there. Not worried about trying to keep the knife beautiful. It's a workable user type bushcraft knife, so I'm not too worried about that. But so it's got some use on it, and not in pristine condition at this point. I have touched up the edge with my strop. I haven't really put it on a stone or anything like that. I might have put it on my ceramic rod, and I've certainly put it on the strop, but I like this knife. Very light. It's probably somewhere around 4 ounces. I didn't weigh it. The blade is 4.33 inches long. The entire knife, I think, is supposed to be like 9.25 inches. Okay. The 1066 steel is rather thin. It's Mora-esque, so to speak. I think they say it's like 2.3 millimeters. It might be a little bit more than that, but it is a thin blade. Very fine tip, which I kind of like that. I like on the edge, I like the tips area to be just as sharp as the rest of the blade. I don't like it when knife makers give it a more of a thickness and a fatter edge up here to toughen up the tip. I want to be able to cut with the tip the same as I do over here. Now this does make it for a slighter, I guess you would say a more fragile tip. So be careful. This is not one to, if you're doing the tip testing, and if I stick it in some wood and go like that, yeah, I'm going to break that tip off. So, I mean, there's just, I don't understand. There's no reason to break the tip off of this knife. It is what it is. Your knife is what it is. Use it according to how the knife is designed and what it's designed for. This is not a heavy duty knife, although you can baton with it. We will baton. This was provided to me, by the way, did I already say that? By BeaverCraft. And so I want to get this video out there. Yeah, walnut handle, lanyard hole. It's full tang all the way around. It's got that nice little sharpening choil. I like the design. It is a Scandi grind. The Scandi grind has a slight hollowness to it, very slight. So a very fine edge on this. The edge came very sharp, and it is a cutter. Okay, it is a good bushcraft knife. I guess I would say this is a kind of a lightweight or a lighter style bushcraft knife. This isn't one, because of the slight tip, thin blade, that you're going to get too crazy with. BeaverCraft, okay, to their credit, if you remember, I have 3 other BeaverCraft knives, and I commented, and other video reviewers commented that their cowhide leather sheaths seem to be a little flimsy, and when you put the knife in the sheath and when you latched it on their kind of a loop and stud setup, that the knife was a little loose inside there. I'm going to take the camera down a little bit. You're done looking at my beard. And so they've tightened that up. On this one, very tight. The knife will not come out. You will not lose the knife on this setup. So kudos to BeaverCraft for listening to that input and improving this style of sheath. The sheath on this one, on the BSH6 Breeze, is not as flimsy. It's a lot stiffer. It seems to be thicker leather. I know I commented on the first few sheaths that it didn't even look like leather to me. This one looks looks leatherier. Is that a word? I don't know. But on the first one I had, it didn't even seem like leather. It seemed like a synthetic material. But this one seems better. So an improvement on the sheath. Just has this loop, belt loop here. It hangs fine on your belt, holds the knife just fine. Nothing to write home to mom about, but it is an improvement on how they were making these type of sheaths. Okay. What else can I tell you about this knife? A kind of a traditional bushcraft style drop point blade. There's no swedge there. It's good steel all the way through. For its thickness, it should be able to do a lot. Should be strong enough. It does have removable fasteners if you need to take the handles off, clean it up. I'm not sure what size those are. Those are Allen. Are they Allen or? I can't tell. There's some dirt in there, and I just got new glasses. I'm still adjusting to them. But yeah, so I'm going to put this knife, I'll show you what it can do, how sharp it is. We'll work some wood, and let's get to it. Alright guys, I've taken you down to my bench here I made, and I've got some hardwoods. I'm not sure what they are, to be honest with you, but the first thing we're going to do is baton this knife, and just and it has nothing to do with this is what you do with the knife, or I'm just going to put some use on this knife as usual. Okay, see what she does. So this thing is really, it's a little, I just took this tree down a couple of weeks ago, so it still has some wetness to it, but this is a fairly hardy piece of tight grained wood, whatever it is. But anyways, I'm gonna take this knife through it. Let me take you up a little bit so you can see the top here. Let's see how this knife does. Yeah. Kind of nice. Gives me some nice pieces to make some feathers with, I think. Good. And this piece is a lot drier. This has been hanging around here in my son-in-law's yard. I'm not another hardwood, but let's split it down. All right, good. Good. All right, not too bad. see how she feathers on this hardwood. Bring you up a hair. Oh. Yeah, like I said, this edge came really sharp. I have had to maintain it a little bit since I had it, but nice fine edge they put on this Breeze knife, so you're not going to be disappointed with how it makes feathers or how it cuts. They're 1066 steel. I like it. Yeah, you're gonna have to sharpen it here and there, but I haven't had this is the fourth BeaverCraft knife I've had, and I have had no problems. I think it's good steel. They seem to heat treat it well. This knife, they say, is 57 to 59 HRC. They have different numbers on their different knives. I don't know why that is, but they do. But as you can see, absolutely no problem with making feathers on this dried piece of hardwood. Let's try one of these wetter pieces, see what happens. This is the piece I cut down just a couple of weeks ago. So this still has moisture in it, but this piece of wood has a little bit more gnarlier than the last. Kind of wants to grip the grain of the wood here and sink in, making it difficult, but still no problem with this BeaverCraft making feathers. If you look around me, you can see all these dry leaves in the wind. I am not gonna make a fire right now, but the spine of the knife will spark the ferro rod. See if you can see this. It's not like gobs of showering sparks. I think if I was one that I needed to depend on the spine of my knife to make sparks, I would maybe kind of sharpen that up a little bit, but it will do it just fine if that's your thing, if that's a must for you. But remember, when you buy a knife, make it your own, okay? Make the edge your own. If you like a sharp spine, you can do that. You know, modify it to how you... Sometimes I don't want a knife with a sharp spine because of what I'm going to do with it. I just want it a little bit more comfortable on my thumb if I'm going to be doing that, you know? So it just depends. Make your knife your own. All right. Let's do a little tip work here. I'm not going to go crazy on this tip. Like I said, it's a slight tip. So I know that if I sink this in this wood and crank it over, yep, I'm going to bust that tip off. So I'm not going to do that because I like this knife. And I'm going to continue to use it here at my daughter's place. But doing something like this, it should not snap off. If it does, that would tell me that something is not right with the heat treat, because I've been working with knives like this a lot of years, and I kind of know what a particular knife tip should and shouldn't be used for. So doing something like this on this tip, it should not snap off. But I want to make sure that the knife is usable and is not going to be a problem for what you're going to do with it. Yeah. 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 So tough enough on that style of tip. I think it's good. And like I said, it's very good edge they put on this. So notching, I mean, no problem with this knife. Doing any kind of basic bushcraft cuts, not going to be a problem. You know, the blade isn't too big that it gets in the way of what you're doing. Yeah, piece of cake. Nicely done. A lot of people like to use the spine of their knife to shave wood. Make some fine shavings if you're going to use your fire steel. Yeah, so that tells you a little bit about the sharpness of the spine. Again, to me, it could still be a little bit sharper if you like that, if that's a thing for you. There's another kind of a semi-wet piece of wood. Still has the bark on it. You can see the greenness there. No problem. No problem carving with this knife. It's comfortable in hand. You know me, if you've watched a lot of my other knife videos, I like a big handle. I don't have huge hands, but I kind of have long hands, and I like a nice, thick handle all the way around. This one is thick enough that way. The width is fine. It's probably, I'm gonna say it's probably over 3/4 of an inch, which is fine. I would have liked to have seen this handle wider this way, you know, bring this out a little bit more, give it a little bit more depth, and I would get a better purchase on it. It does have that swell there. So, you know, you got a little bit of rocking, not bad, because it does come back out at the guard area and it does come back out at the pommel, which helps keep it from rocking. So not bad, but still I would have liked it if it was a little bit more depth, a little bit more handle on this one. As far as, you know, you're not going to use, this is not a chopper. It just doesn't, it's not big enough. It doesn't have enough weight. I mean, that's, I don't know why you would chop with that, but yeah, I'm very happy with this knife. I think it's a winner. I certainly recommend it. This is the BeaverCraft BSH6 Breeze, and yeah, check it out. Oh, I have not seen this on Amazon. It's on the BeaverCraft website. They're selling it for $55. Usually if you find a BeaverCraft on Amazon or somewhere else, it's cheaper than that, like a lot closer to 30 bucks. But I have not seen this one on Amazon, so I don't know where else you can get it, but it is on the BeaverCraft website for $55 if you wanted to get it there. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Common Sense Outdoorsman. We'll see you on the next one.